Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing the totally didn't or totally didn't need book tag. From my understanding, the original creator's video is no longer available, but I will still leave a link to their channel in the description. So the first question is totally didn't need a sequel or sequels. For this one, I'm gonna go with Strictly Professional by Christina C. Jones. I liked Strictly Professional. Workplace romance, great, love it, right? Reading that sequel pissed me off so bad that I honestly have to recommend it as a standalone. In this, we're following Gabby and Terrence. They might have had a one-night stand and then realized that they worked together and were trying to figure out how to navigate that typical workplace romance stuff. And you know, it ends in a happy for now. And I was okay with that. And then I read the sequel and it's basically a second chance and nope, because in my opinion, they didn't need to be together anymore. They did not deserve to get that second chance, but that's just how I feel. The second question is totally didn't need to have more than one point of view. And I'm actually someone who really enjoys multiple POVs, so I don't necessarily think that I have one where I'm like, this would have been better if it was just one perspective. However, I will say that in the Ending Fire trilogy by Sara El-Arifi, we didn't need John's point of view. I can't stand that man. There was maybe a 10% section of the book where I didn't hate that man, and it didn't last long because those books are pretty chunky and I continued to hate him through the end of the series. I did not care about anything that he was thinking or feeling. I don't feel like he as a character added anything to the story. What I wanted to happen in the final book didn't happen, and honestly I feel some type of way about it. I probably would have given it a higher rating if what I wanted to happen actually did. Number 3 is totally didn't need a cover change halfway through the series. And it's not that I don't like the new covers for this series, it's just that I have the first one in the other covers and I was planning on continuing them because I like those as well. And I hate when they do this. Like, if you're gonna change the covers, finish the first set first and then release new ones, right? That's just how I feel. But Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray, and again, it's not that I don't like the new covers, but my hardcover copy does not have faces on it, and I wanted to continue that theme. I really like this series. I'm planning to read the final book at the end of the year, and I just don't think that we needed to change the covers. 4 is totally didn't need a love triangle, and I'm gonna say every romance with a love triangle in existence. I am not a fan of love triangles. I don't like it. I never will like it. I don't think there is any situation where I feel that it has been done correctly or done well. It honestly just feels like unnecessary conflict 9 times out of 10, and it's such a waste of time. I know some people really love it and I love that for y'all, but I'm not one of those people. 5 is totally didn't need this book to be included in the series. Oh, okay. And I'm not saying that this book wasn't, I mean, no, it kind of wasn't. Okay, Robin and I just finished reading Rise of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan, and a lot of what happened in this book was completely fucking irrelevant. Like, do I think that a lot of the situations in this book are necessary for the third book? No. I feel like if we had a little bit of what happened in Rise of Empire included in Theft of Swords, it could have just been a duology. But also, since each book is 2 books in one, that's still a quartet right there. So Rise of Empire did feel very unnecessary because it was essentially to get us to a point to lead into book 3, but I feel like it probably could have been done in a better way. 6 is totally didn't need a cliffhanger. I think many people will agree that The Blood Gift kind of had a cliffhanger, because why did you introduce something that we're not going to see the end of? Like, technically it wraps up, but there are still so many unanswered questions that it did not make sense for that series to only be a duology. It definitely should have been a trilogy, probably could have been even longer and still would have been a good time. The ending just felt very rushed, and with the rushed ending, the beginning of the book still introduced things that we never got to see a conclusion to, and that it just really irritated me. We definitely should have got another book with that series. Totally didn't need to have just one point of view. So I feel this way about pretty much any romance ever. We should always have both perspectives, and so even though I absolutely love this book, I wish that The Kiss Countdown did have Vincent's POV, because being in his head would have been so nice to see, even though he did say and do things that made it clear what he was thinking and feeling. I think that after a certain point in the book, because of the way that things go, it would have been nice to have his perspective. But for the most part, romances should have two perspectives, or however many perspectives of the people that are in the relationship. 8 is totally didn't need that much hype. I will say, I mean, this isn't surprising, anything by Sarah Janet, anything by Colleen Hoover, not a fan. Ice Planet Barbarians, I still don't get that one. I will also say A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Y'all really hyped that one up for me, and it was disappointing. 9 is totally didn't need a relative book reference, and the example is that Hunger Games fans would love Divergent, and I agree with that, because Divergent was fucking trash. Only the first book was even semi-interesting, and that's because we're being introduced to the factions, and the ending of that damn trilogy was so fucking disappointing. Anywho, what didn't need a book reference? Oh, comparing every Black horror mystery to Get Out. We don't need to do that. We can stop. And lastly is totally didn't deserve my time. Second Touch the Charm. I had an arc of this. It's second chance romance, but there was like no real reason for the breakup. There was no reason for them to not be together. I already can't stand any form of miscommunication, but when y'all are just doing things that are making yourself and each other miserable for no reason, why? I feel like Cardi B, what was the reason? There was no reason. That book wasted my time. As per usual, I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you see this and feel so inclined, then consider yourself tagged. Let me know what book wasted your time. I also really like the question about not needing a sequel. So if you have any books that you feel didn't need sequels, let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.